Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pride Podcast, episode 408 on the Blue Wire Network. I am your host, Tyler, joined my main guy, as always, Mr. Malcolm Hart. Malcolm, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good. I'm a little confused. Where's the intro?
I was waiting for it, too. That's why I had a little pause.
Man, you know what? No, you know what? 3, 2, 1.
The Pride Podcast Productions.
You're good enough for Detroit.
But he can't bear what comes with
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Here comes that pressure. Mayfield in the middle. It's intercepted. It's Derek Barnes. Seattle's got to make a stop. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to Goff. Who had that on the bingo card? And a second. Oh, here's a little trickery. St. Brown back to God. Lee Flicker's got Laporta wide open. Sam Laporta foot race towards the end zone. Diving touchdown. Unreal. 52 for the win. It is just good. Just inside the upright. Jake Bates, hometown hero. And the Lions have come all the way back. Here comes the heat. It's Hutchinson again. Number 3, the hat trick for Aiden Hutchinson.
Blocked there by Zylstra. It's caught by Jamison Williams. There he goes. Foot race with Miller. Foot race with Savage. That is 6 for number 9.
Much better now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 408 of the Pride Podcast. That got me going a little bit. Malcolm, how we feel, brother?
Yo, what's going on, man? Yo, another Dubski. Yeah, I can't complain, man. I'm excited, man. Let's go.
That was... I don't know how to put that game in perspective. Like I thought we were going to win this game. I said as we were walking out of Kansas City, this is not on film or anything, but Malcolm could take this for the quote that I gave him, that I said to him personally. I gave him the guaranteed that the Lions are not losing back-to-back. They're not losing a game that they're going into a bye week, and they're going to win this Monday Night Football game. Regardless of the injuries, regardless of the suspension, they were going to win this game on Monday Night Football. And man, oh man, the way they won this football game, I can't say confidently I thought they were going to win it like that. But my, oh my, that was one impressive, gritty ass victory. Shout out to that Lions defense. We're going to get into it all right here. Usually we start with the offense. I think we have to start with this defense here because that's the story of this game right here. When you look at the headlines that you're going to see throughout the week, going into this bye week, it's what Calvin Shepard and this defense performed on Monday Night Football against a 5-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has been rolling, and you in Detroit absolutely shut them down. So I'll start off with you, Malcolm. I mean, what is the takeaway when you look at what this Lions defense was able to do today on Monday Night Football?
You know what I'm gonna say, man? This was probably one of the best defensive performances I've seen from this Lion team. Probably in a very long time, I'll say. Just for the guys that are out there. I mean, you talk about a unit that week 1, the starters that started week 1, none of these guys were out there. Nope. Starting safeties were gone. Our starting cornerbacks were gone. Damn it, I didn't even know half of the guys are out in the field. Like, every time I saw a number, I had to look it up on my phone. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, literally, like, these are guys from practice squad. Mm-hmm. Guys signed, like, last week. Like, these are guys that just pretty much off the street. And they came in and performed. It's a big, got to tip your head off to Coach Shep, man. He got these guys playing right, man. Shit. I like what I saw from those guys. I mean, I had no complaints. The secondary played the best all year. This is the best secondary performance they played all year. And this is guys that they're nobodies. Who the fuck are these guys?
I know. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen from the Lions in general ever. Like, just ever in general. I mean, like, you're not playing some slouch of a team. Like, yeah, they had some injuries. They were missing, Bucky Irvin. They're missing Chris Godwin. Mike Evans goes out pretty early in that game. So they were missing some guys for sure. But, like, what the Lions threw out there defensively and what they were able to do to Baker Mayfield, who has been an MVP candidate this year, and they were getting him to, he was not comfortable out there, man. As with Ford Field, whoever wins that game, you guys absolutely showed out. Ford Field is absolutely electric. You could hear it through the TV. You call up the refs. You were loud on defense. You guys were absolutely electric out there. But then this defense in general, man. I mean, Ali McNeil, we're going to talk about the secondary too in a little bit. You mentioned all these, guys that they throw out there, but man, how nice is it to have Lee McNeil out there again, man? It just his presence in both the running game and the passing game, man. Right as the game started, he's making his presence known on this defensive line that he is here. He's activated for this game, getting pressure on Baker Mayfield. Dude's an absolute stud, man. And I've said it for a very long time when they drafted Tyleik Williams. And when we saw how Tyleik Williams has performed so far without Ali McNeil, I was just waiting to see how this was going to look when they get them all together in the same line. Aiden Hutchinson, Ali McNeil, Tyleik Williams, mix some DJ Reader, and then whoever the hell is going to be on the other side of the edge. And now we saw for the first time for an actual example. And, as depleted as this line secondary was, the reason why I was so confident in this game was because of this defensive line. Getting Ali McNeil back, what helps a secondary that's banged up right now is a good pass rush. And that's what they did today, man. They went out to that Tampa Bay offensive line, and that pass rush got after Baker Mayfield, making him not comfortable all game long. And that's a big shot to number 54, Lee McNeil, and the other guys alongside of him. 97 and Hutchinson had a phenomenal game as well today, getting consistent pressure on Baker Mayfield. But man, oh man, getting Lee McNeil back to this fold, it's going to be a fun rest of the season if these guys could just stay healthy. That unit as a whole, the defensive line, because, to be totally honest with you, I don't care who they throw back there. If you have those guys getting consistent pressure out there, you're helping anyone who's going to be in that corner, right? A good pass rush solves so much issues. And 54 Lee McNeil helps that line's defensive line out so much. So hopefully he can stay healthy and that unit together can stay healthy, because they are going to be very, very special for a very, very long time.
You know what? You're right. Having a strong, defensive line pressure on that quarterback, it really doesn't matter who's out there. But shit, I mean, it'll make a difference if you have more talent back there. 100%. So when you get Brian Branch back, you get Kirby Joseph back there, I think they're gonna be able to make more plays on the ball, especially if, anything deep. You got Kirby Joseph back there, and then Brian Branch is gonna make plays all around the field. But as far as the cornerbacks, I was really impressed with the guys out there, and I want to see how our starters will look with this pressure and this defensive line and how they'll play in that end.
Yeah, I mean, all right, now that I talked about this pass rush, let's talk about these guys that you guys probably don't know much about, because I didn't know much about them. As diehard of fans we are, and we keep up with every transaction with this team, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I lost track of how many injuries and the suspension of Brian Branch, of who they were bringing in, who signed to the practice squad, who was actually going to be activated for this game. I actually lost track. I didn't know what was going to happen until the game actually happens. Usually I have some perspective of how I think it's going to be lined up out there. I'm not going to lie to you. I think outside of Rocky Sin, I had zero expectation who was going to be out there and starting. Going to Meek Robinson, obviously. Outside of that, I had no idea who was going to be the nickelback, and I had no idea who your two starting safeties were going to be in this game. And those guys today really, really made a name for themselves. And the crazy part is, too, one of the locks that we had as a starter in this game was Rocky Sin. He goes down in this game, and he was playing well before, too, but he goes down in this game as well. And that opens up an opportunity for a guy named Nick Whiteside, Saginaw Valley University. Nick Whiteside. Brother wasn't in the NFL last year. Brother was in the UFL last year, playing for the St. Louis Battlehawks. And now you see him here on Monday Night Football against one of the best offensive in the league, who is a little depleted, but one of the best offensive in the league, an MVP quarterback on the other side. Baker Mayfield testing him left and right not every single time, but very consistently. And this brother, 38, Nick Whiteside, just making play after play after play, pass break after pass break after pass break. And this was on Emeka Egbuka, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Baker Mayfield did the right thing and tried to test this guy. But Nick Whiteside was not going to be tested. He showed that he was made for the moment, even after the injury. And my, oh my, I mean, there's a lot of guys that we could really look out and say, man, that guy stepped up, but he was one of them that particular really, really stood out to me. So shout out to Nick Whiteside, man. From a guy who was just in the UFL, busting his ass trying to get back to the NFL. Now playing for one of the best teams in the NFL and making your mark out there on national television on Monday Night Football for Saginaw Valley, that's in the state of Michigan, now playing for the Detroit Lions in the big game, starting there and having some big plays against an MVP quarterback. That is as big time stuff as it gets. And that's a big kudos to Calvin Shepherd for putting these guys in the correct spot and just getting them ready for Monday Night Football, man. That was a tough task for him. And that's a very tough task for what Shepherd was handheld with, right? And what he got out of there. And for all my time I've watched Detroit Lions football, years and years of Detroit Lions football, I could say confidently that's going to be one performance I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. That might have been the best defensive performance I've ever seen out of the Detroit Lions defense. It legitimately might have been the best defensive performance I've ever seen.
Wow. I mean, I got to clap it up for you to even know this backstory of Nick Whiteside. Because
I looked up the game. I'm not going to lie.
You looked up during the game? The whole time, like, I felt like Conor McGregor. I was like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Like, who is this guy? The whole time, I'm like, yo, who are these guys making plays? And then I was like, the whole time I'm thinking like that. But yeah, kudos to him, man, because he was making play after play after play after being targeted.
Yeah,
and then, Baker Mayfield did the right thing, targeting Nick Whiteside, but he showed that look, he could hold his own.
100%, man. And it wasn't just Nick Whiteside. He was one of them that really stood out to me. Arthur Millette, you guys heard of him? I mean, 32-year-old veteran, I think making his first career NFL start on defense. He's 32, man. This guy's
what the fuck? Where have he been? He been in the league?
Yeah, he's been in the league, and I'm like, who is Arthur Millette? Never heard of the dude.
Who is this guy?
And he's going out there going one-on-one with K-Dot and then ripping that ball and getting an interception for his name.
He got a turnover.
Then you got Eric Hallett, 7th-round pick out of the University of Georgia. I mean, my goodness, I haven't had to do this much during a game. Usually I'm usually pretty knowledgeable. My buddy's like, oh, who is this guy? I'll tell them who this guy is.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't know who number 12, what's his name? Thomas Harper. Yeah, is that his name? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who Thomas Harper is. I don't know who Eric Millette is. I don't know who Arthur Millette, Eric Hallett, Nick Whiteside. I mean, Tyrus Wheat. Who are these guys? Tyrus Wheat get his sack for the Lions defensive line. Who is Tyrus Wheat?
Yeah, where did he come from?
That one I actually knew it because they picked him up before the season. But regardless, you guys didn't know who Tyrus Wheat was before this game. You didn't. You didn't know who Tyrus Wheat was before this game. So, man, oh, man. To only give up one touchdown all game long. And that was when the offense is not even putting you in some good spots, man. That they were asked to go out there and get a stop consistently a lot, man. It's not like the offense was bailing them out there, having long drives and getting them long breaks. No, man, the offense, we're going to get into it in a little bit. They were not putting this defense in a good spot. The defense won them this game. And that's a big shout out to these guys, man. That's such a cool moment for those guys. And I'm hoping that now, and Troy Aikman mentioned part of the broadcast, I'm hoping these guys can make a mark for our team. But if at the very least, if it's not going to be for our team, these guys put good film out there that they're going to get another opportunity out there from 31 other NFL teams. If it's not here in Detroit, but for the time being, they are Detroit Lions and they're going to make an impact for this team right now.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, they definitely made put some good film out there. The thing for me is that they did it against Baker Mayfield, who was coming to this game kind of hot. One of the hotter quarterbacks playing right now in the league right now. It's not like we're playing against like when we played the Bengals and we're playing against that bum off the backup bum. What the fuck? What was his name again? Bro. I forgot his name, but he was a bum. And if people were excited, like, oh look, we shut down Chase, but the bum he wasn't throwing the ball. I mean, he was just a bum. But they're doing it against Baker Mayfield, who was an established quarterback, and he was coming to this game hot. So for them to put out that type of performance, it was really good to see, man. Definitely, man. I don't know, man. Kelvin Shepherd may look like I tell this over and over. He may look like a clear upgrade over AG.
I tweeted towards the end of the game. I said, enjoy Kelvin Shepherd because I don't know how long he's going to be here for. That's a head coach candidate waiting to be very, very soon. I mean, you have a game like that with what you had out there talent-wise. There's going to be some looks. There's going to be some looks out there, and people are going to be interested in what you got. This guy's a very young guy. I mean, the guy was just in the NFL in 2018. Yeah, he was just playing for the Lions with the Matt Patricia era. That's as crazy as that sounds. He was just playing, and now he's already a defensive coordinator. And I mean, shoot, man, you put that type of film out there for your defense. You go stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like you just did today. I mean, this team had one loss prior to this game. They had one loss prior to this game. And no, they were the number one team in the NFC at the time. And you shut them down. And like you said, you kind of made them look like a bad offense, right? Like this was the big statement game they really, really needed. And that was fun, man. So just a big shout out to everyone out there. I thought everyone was really good out there, from the defensive line to the linebackers of Jack Campbell running around there, Alex Anzalone having a good day out there. And then we just talked about that defensive back room, man, with all those guys coming in and out. And, some guys having a better game than, they did in the past. Like Rocky Sin was a guy that was catching a lot of flack from this fan base just last week in Kansas City. And, he goes out there, rebounds, has a really good game. Hopefully he's healthy and he can be back out there very soon for this team. But, very, very solid day for him. And they asked a lot of him, going into man coverage and going against these big-time receivers like Mike Evans when he was out there. And then, Emeka Ibuka and, Tez Johnson is not a household name by any means, but solid, sneaky receiver, Sterling Shepard. Like, they have some guys, man. A crazy loaded room in Tampa Bay, even with the injuries. And these guys in Detroit in that secondary really held it down today. So very, very impressive, man. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I don't understand the Rocky Sin hate, man. I never understood. Even last week, everybody was he would get hate for no reason last week. If you ask me, I mean, he's playing well, and especially for being a backup and coming in and being solid on his handling his side. That's all you can ask for when you have a backup corner, man. And we're gonna have experience. I mean, I feel comfortable with him out there.
100%. I didn't think I was gonna mention it, but I think I should, just in case. He returned to practice this week. Terran Arnold's got some competition now, man. Like, this is not a gimme right now, man. These guys go out. They put some good game film out there. He's got to go earn that spot back. Now, do I expect him to be out there versus Minnesota starting? I do. I really do think he's going to be out there. But man, oh man, if he has a couple bad holds or a PI here and there, like, I don't think Shep's willing to. I think it's a short leash right now. Like, we got some guys ready to roll, and they showed it here on Monday Night Football. So. TA, man, let's put up a shut time now. Come on. You're going to get another opportunity, but let's see what you can do now.
Yeah, hopefully this elevates his game. Him knowing that he has competition back there, and then he could see the bench. So hopefully that, puts him, builds him up even more, and it makes him to be a better player. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some dogs. We have some dogs on our roster, man. And it's showing. Like, this is crazy because, like, you look at the guys we had last year compared to what we just saw today. It's like night and day.
100%. And that was with our starters.
Yeah, those was our starters.
Yeah.
Man. Coach Shep.
Coach Shep, man. And, it's still a very heavy man coverage team. Like, that's the impressive thing is, like, he's not like putting these guys in zone and say just cover a zone. Like, this is man coverage for the most part, and these guys are holding their ground out there, man.
Yeah, he did a way better job today, blending in zone with man. Like, he ran some man, but he did blend in a lot of zone. Like, there was some plays like Baker Mayfield couldn't realize he didn't know if it was man or zone. Because they were just blending in so well. He did a really great job. Versus last week, I think we played too much zone and not enough man. But I think this week was a perfect blend of both.
I agree 100%. Yeah, it was a good adjustment here from Coach Shep for sure, from compared to Kansas City to this game. Yeah, I think it was nice to be home back too, man. Just being back home after being on the road for the last two games, playing in Cincinnati, even though that felt like a home game, and then playing in Kansas City last week. I think it was nice for these guys to just play back at Ford Field and have that ruckus Ford Field crowd because, man, I've thought this for a while, but like today really solidified for me. Like, this is, I think, the best home field advantage in the NFL right now. Like, people talk about Kansas City, people talk about Seattle. Those are some really, really good home field advantages.
Yeah.
But Detroit is really getting up there. And I think Joe Buck even mentioned himself. He we used to come here Thanksgiving every year, and it felt like a funeral, right? Like, that's how it used to feel here in Detroit. But now when you go to Detroit, and especially for primetime games, it is hands down one of the best crowds in the NFL, if not the best crowd in the NFL.
100%, man.
So, all right, let's switch gears to the offense side of the ball. A little more interesting right here. Have a fast start, fire start, right? They get the ball to start the game. They march down right away, go get 7. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who hasn't got a touchdown the last 2 games, they get him in the stat sheet. Big first half for him. But overall, I mean, I don't know, man. When I watched this first half especially, I was a little bothered, right? Because the score was 14-3. But if you look at the statistics and how the game was actually played, it felt like the Lions should have been up way, way more. It just felt like there were so many missed opportunities on this offense. Even with 24 points, like it's a solid day at the office, but I feel like there was just so much more that they could have had, and there was a lot of missed opportunities from this offense today. But did you have that same kind of feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it. We failed on fourth downs. There were some plays on fourth down we failed on missed field goals. I mean, yeah, I mean that could hold you back, man. If you're not putting points on the board, we're so accustomed to Dan Campbell going for it, and we're used to it now. That we just expect it. Fourth down, 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 4, we're expecting Dan Campbell to go for it. But when you don't convert on those drives, which we've seen today, it puts everything. It makes the whole you put up a lot of yards, but you're not putting up any points. And ultimately, that's what you see with us that first half.
It's like you mentioned, like I think Dan has all the confidence that they can pick it up, and they've shown it like in the past that yes, they could pick up these big third downs or these big fourth downs. But I mean, there's something a little missing this year. Like the offense is still really high power. This is still very dynamic, but it just feels like there's something missing here. I can't really necessarily put a finger to what is missing, but like it feels like when we're in 3rd and 5, it's not as easy as it used to be. Or if we're on like a 4th and 2, it's not as easy as it used to be. Like we're fighting for every single yard. Even when we went for a 4th down and we converted it late with the Amon-Ra to Gibbs backwards pass, like barely gets it, man. Like we're fighting for every single yard. Everything feels really close. I don't know what's really kind of holding this offense back, but like you said, man, like that could really change the whole dynamic of the game. I didn't like it at the time because when you're playing the secondary that you had out there, right, all depleted, you don't want to give Baker Mayfield and this team's chances and chances and chances to keep coming back in this game. Like it felt like we should have buried these guys a lot earlier than it was. Shout out to the defense, like we said, they took care of business, but that can't be the case every single week. Like you have to go out there and bury these teams, especially when you're dominating like that and putting yourself in those situations. You got to go out there and bury them. And just a lot of empty drives, even when they were driving, and that's the most frustrating part. It's not like they were stagnant because they were moving the ball, they just couldn't get the punch shot, the knockout punch, the dagger, right? And they were just relying on the defense too many times. And like I said, shout out to them, they got it done. But when you're banged up on defense like that, you don't want to rely on your defense to do that every single time. And just in general, even when they're healthy, you don't want to rely on them to do that every single time and bail you out. So you got away with it today, but after this bye, that's something I want to see corrected, man. Red zone efficiency and getting these third downs, because right now it's not a huge problem, but if it continues, it's going to be a problem going forward. So I want to see that corrected for this Lions offense.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this game, and if that defense doesn't perform like they did today, we could have easily lost this game.
100%. I mean, the way people saw the Lions winning this game was that they're going to go back and forth with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah,
that was how people thought this game was going to go, how they were going to win this game. Like they're going to need 30 plus points in this game, and they were not able to do that today. And like, especially in that first half, man, they just needed that knockout punch, and they couldn't get it up. But let's talk about a little bit more of the positives. Jahmyr Gibbs, phenomenal day. He really carried this offense, I feel like, all day today. Whenever they needed him, I feel like he got that big run. And we were waiting for that big home run, really, that 160-yard, 70-yard run, and he finally got that today. Absolutely electric to see, but absolutely carried this offense today, both in the passing and the running game.
Yeah, I mean, he had that 78-yard burst, 78-yard run, man. To me, he's the best back in the league, and I don't think it's close right now. I think right now what he can do as far as his speed, power, I think he's the best back in the league. That's just me right now. Argue with your mom. I don't care what you say. He's the best back in the league. I'm just gonna end it like that. He is the best back in the league.
Yeah, and there's some other backs balling right now that will like to have a word with you. But yeah, I mean, he's up.
I don't care. Do not care. Argue with your mom. He's the best back in the league.
You don't think Jonathan Taylor wants a word with you?
No, fuck that.
Or CMC or Bijan?
No, fuck that. No. No, they don't have the speed, power, and they can't do all the shit. He's no.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I'll let you argue. I'm not going to argue, but there's going to be some people that do argue.
they could, man. He's the modern day Chris Johnson. That's why I'm gonna leave it like that. He's probably better version of Chris Johnson because he could catch. Do things Chris Johnson couldn't do. But no, man, he's special. He's special, and he showed it today. Today was a good showing of why he's special.
I want to ask about a player here right now, and I think I know how you're going to attack this, and I think I agree with you. If this is how I think you're going to attack it, let me ask the question first.
Yeah, ask the question, man.
Because I had some buddies today say to me today that they're a little concerned of this guy and like why is he even out there? And it's Jameson Williams.
Williams,
yeah. Tell the people why the impact that he's doing, even if he's not getting the stats right now.
All right, so I don't have a problem with JMO. I think JMO's doing what he's supposed to do. As far as given that deep threat, if he's not out there, everybody just play up. St. Brown ain't going deep, Then you got to worry about like maybe Tesla, but he's doing that vertical route that's making the teams respect the deep game. Even though he's not getting the ball, teams still got to respect it. So I'm okay. I'm okay with JMO out there. I think the only thing that I think is going on is he's not getting the ball enough. He needs more targets. He has a drop issue sometimes. Today he had that one. He had a really nice catch, but it was like the offensive pass interference. He just needs more targets.
I agree with that. That was the kind of point I was saying right now. People are saying, why are you paying this guy? Like he's an empty stat sheet right now, and is he going to cash your bets a lot of the time? Maybe not. And I think that's where the frustrations are right now, is the fantasy football players and people betting. Because if that's what you're doing and that's your main incentive of what you're looking at right now, it looks terrible right now because he's not performing to those levels right now. But Malcolm hit on the point, I think, perfectly, right? When Jameson Williams is on the field, it's a whole different dynamic for this offense. He's what frees up for these other guys. He's what gives more opportunities for these other guys because defenses have to respect Jameson Williams, because if you don't respect him, he's going to beat you for a 70-yard touchdown. That's just the nature of it. If you do not respect Jameson Williams, he's going to beat you, and he's going to eventually have those games because, you can't focus on every single player on this offense. Like if Amon-Ra St. Brown consistently continues to cook every week, they're going to be like, okay, now we got to put the main focus on Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's going to open up opportunities for Jameson Williams. So the numbers are going to come. Will he be a 1,000-yard receiver this year? Probably not. Just the way, the season has gone so far, and we're kind of, in the middle of it already. Like, is he going to be a 1,000-yard receiver? No. But is he going to have a good game or two? 100%. Like that's just how NFL goes and how the matchups have gone. That's what the teams have given us right now. They have given up more opportunities for Amon-Ra St. Brown and guys like Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs to be a more factor in the passing game than a guy like Jameson Williams. But there's going to be certain matchups where we're going to look at, hey, man, this is a Jameson Williams game. And that's going to come very soon. Like, those games are going to come very, very soon for him. So even though the numbers don't look great for him, the play is still very highly effective. It might not show on the stat sheet, but what you're seeing out of him is still highly effective. Whether you like to believe it or not, his presence alone is a huge factor to why this Lions offense is what it is right now. Because if he's not out there, it's not the same respect. It's all emphasis on Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta in this passing game. Who is the deep threat that's going to kill you? Tesla, maybe, but there's not enough proof out there that he could be that guy out there. He just hasn't had enough opportunities to prove himself as that guy. So Jameson Williams' presence alone, just the presence alone is a factor in what gets this offense going. So I have no issues with it. The contract extension is done. I still like the deal. I'm not going back on it. And I still think I would offer it today. If the opportunity was still there, I would still offer that same contract today to James Williams.
Yeah, me too, man. Like I said, I just want them to possibly get him, put the ball in his hands more.
He's due.
He is due. But he's such an electric player that maybe give him an end around. Get him some plays for him. We have some Amon-Ra plays. Give him some plays.
Yeah,
that's my only concern, and that's an offensive coordinator issue. That's a play calling issue as far as getting him involved. He's not getting him involved. There's a lot of plays we see Amon-Ra St. Brown back there pitching it to Jahmyr Gibbs. Now imagine that's J-Mo and Gibbs back there.
Yeah,
that's scary as shit. Cause you have two guys running 4-2s, and you don't know which way the ball is gonna go. Now that's what I'm talking about. These need to be more creative and making more JMO plays. Right now, they don't have enough JMO plays. And hopefully, after this bye, they all sit in the fucking room and say, this electric player isn't getting the ball enough. What can we do to get him the ball? End arounds, screens. I don't care. I don't care. Put him in the backfield. Get him the goddamn ball. You know what I mean? If they do that, I think this offense takes another leap. I think that how you say you think something's missing. I think that is missing.
It could be because it feels like everyone else is performing well, like around him. We're seeing Gibbs, we're seeing Amon-Ra, Laporta, Cook. It feels like there's one missing piece, and maybe that is Jameson Williams that is the missing piece right now. That I think is really taking this offense from a really good one already to like a dominant number one offense in the league. I think they're like one piece away from there. And I'm not saying they have to acquire the guy. I think they have the guys in the building right now. I think
they do.
Now. It's just that they have to get the best out of him. And I agree with you. I think there's a Johnny Mo problem that he's not getting Jameson Williams involved. So yeah, I mean, like you said, going into this bye, that's got to be a focus, right? It's not necessarily force feed him, but like I don't need to see Jameson Williams run on the field every single play. I just don't need. And it seems like that's what he's doing every single play, and it's effective because he's drawing attention, right? It's opening up for these other guys. But like you said, man, run him for a drag route. Just let him run around a little bit. Like he could cause some havoc with his speed alone. Like you just got to open up some place for him and spread it out a little bit more because we know what Amon-Ra is going to do. He's a great player. We know what Laporta is going to do. He's a great player. We know Gibbs can do in the passing game. You could add another player there. He's right there, right in front of your face right now. He's staring at you. He's in your locker room right now.
He's wearing a number 1 jersey too.
What's I'm saying? It's not like you have to go out there, go trade for a guy or go sign or something like that. Like he's right there in the building. Like just go out and use him and make him more a factor. And I think that could be the missing piece right now because it feels like, man, they're just missing something right now. And that may be it. That might be it.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, we talked a little bit about offense and a little bit about defense. I have a couple questions, man, about this game. There's some questionable shit that I've seen. I mean, everything can't be positive. Dan Campbell, great coach. I love him. Did you understand that second challenge? Because I did not.
My buddies were texting like, "What are we challenging right now?" I said,
"I don't know. What the fuck were we challenging?"
I said, "Shit, I have no idea right now. I have no clue."
They said they got the broadcast and said we were challenging
if it was a first down.
The spot of the first down when it was like 2nd and 5. What the fuck?
Yeah, I got nothing for that one.
What the hell is going on?
Because it was a clear possession, because it was a fumble, right? It was a sack and then fumble, and then I thought maybe they're challenging if like Tyleek picked it up or not. I mean, he had the butterfingers, missed that play. He tweeted himself he had the butterfingers. Probably should have got it, but he didn't, right? Yeah. It was a football, right? It happens all the time when there's a fumble like that. It looks like it was a clear possession by Tristan Wirfs because it was a clear possession by Tristan Wirfs. But that's not what they were challenging. They were challenging the down of distance of the ball.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I got nothing for that. I'd love to have an explanation for you guys. I got nothing for that. I don't.
I was hoping you did. I was shit. I was home confused.
Even the first one, right? That was a very weird play. I like the challenge by Dan Campbell. But the officiating crew and John Hussey, what was going on there? Because I don't know if we heard this originally. They originally said the play stands.
Yeah. Because they challenged something else that wasn't the spot of the ball. They didn't challenge the spot of the ball.
They were challenging if he made the catch. That was clear catch.
Yeah, they're challenging if he maintained control of the catch and
completed
the catch.
Yeah,
that's what they challenged.
That was clear as day.
They could. Why didn't you see? That's why they confused Baker. That's why they're all pissed.
Yeah,
they're like, "What the hell is going on?" You said it was unsuccessful. Then he was like, "Oh, wait. Let's go back and see where the ball was." So they went and pretty much reviewed it a third time.
Like that's what I don't understand about the officiating crew. Why couldn't they have just done that all in one? That should be a one-time review. Because as a Bucs fan, I would be pretty pissed off too. But then, like, there was a clear shot that he was short. Kadon was short. The line distance. That's why I thought he was challenging. Like, that's a good challenge. I was yelling on my TV. I'm like, challenge, because he was short, and ESPN had a great view of him being short. But then I heard, like you said, they're challenging if he cleared the possession of a catch. I'm like, I'm not worried about if he catched it. I know he caught the ball. He's short though. He's short. And then they said the call stands, and I'm like, they didn't see that he was short, and then they're like, "Oh, you're right, he was short." And they're like, "All right, let's huddle up again. Let's call New York." Yeah, well, dumbasses. He was short. That's what I was trying to tell you the first time. John Hussey probably hung up the phone too quickly. I'm
Yeah,
putting this on John Hussey.
that was weird. That was a weird one, man. But there was another questionable play call, whatever you want to call it. We got them on a holding call. It was third. It was a second. It was 2nd and 10.
Okay.
And they called holding on the Bucs. We declined it.
Oh, you're right. That's okay. I'm trying to think of the situation. You're right. Yeah. So it could have been.
We declined it. So it could have been 2nd and 20.
3rd and 10. You're saying?
It was. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it was 3rd and 10. Was it 3rd and 10? No, I think it was second. It was 2nd and 10.
It was 2nd and 10. So if they declined it, it was an incomplete pass. It could have been 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 20.
So when they declined it, it made it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, we declined it and gave an extra. Did not give the extra down. But
yeah, exactly. So if we would have accepted it, it would have been 2nd and 20.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't agree with that. I thought they should have accepted the penalty and backed up the Buccaneers and let them go get those yards because it was 4 down territory for them already.
Yeah.
So whatever, unless they picked up 10 yards or more on 2nd down, it was going to be 3rd and 11 probably, or 3rd and 12, right? Whatever play they completed, it would have been hard to get all of that back in one play. So it would have been a deeper 3rd down than the 3rd and 10 by that penalty. So I agree with that. That was another one I didn't like by Dan Campbell. The first challenge I thought was great, getting him short. The other challenge was, I don't know what he challenged.
No, we don't know what the fuck he challenged there. What was that? Somebody tell me. If somebody's listening right now and you know what he was challenging in that second challenge, so please tell me. I don't know what was being challenged.
John Russell, the rules expert, didn't know what he's challenging. I don't think the comment section is going to help. Yes, but that's a good thing. I see the logic of declining it, because it's then you only need 2 more downs instead of giving 3 downs. But if it were me, if I was in that spot, I would have accepted it, let him go back and, go let him earn those yards.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know.
I agree. I think they should have accepted it and, let him go get those yards. But I see it from Campbell's perspective. I mean, if it's a spot early in the game, I think it makes more sense to decline it because, it's not 4 down territory, right? If they don't pick it up on 3rd and 10, which is a tough play, they're going to punt the ball and go for a field goal, just depending on where they are, right, on the field. So I understand it earlier in the game, but when you're up 15 points at that point and they're going to go for it on 4th down, don't give them extra yards that they don't need to have, right? Let them go earn those yards, go accept the penalty. Yes, you have to go fight another down, but I don't agree with that. So I would have accepted that penalty, backed them up, and let them go earn those yards.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But besides those, the three calls that happened, I was very happy with the game, so I have no complaints.
Yeah, I mean, you got those guys ready to go. They were ready to roll. I mean, I think offensively, it was just I leave a little hesitant, going to this, but I feel like there was just a lot of missed opportunities. But I feel like when they needed to get it, they were able to do it for the most part. Once the Bucs responded with the touchdown, it's all right, stop playing around here, Detroit, go get a touchdown. And they were able to do that. So that was encouraging to see. So it felt like when they needed it, they were able to get it. I just want to see more consistency with this offense, throughout 4 quarters, because that defense showed a whole four-quarter performance today.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that's it. I just got to do oopsie doopsie and ball of the week, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you the honors. Pierre's not here. Who's the baller?
I got to give it to 2 people, man. I have to.
Okay.
I have to give it to 2 people. The first one is going to go to Kelvin Shepard.
Yeah.
He has to get it. All right. The way he has that defense, the way he had that defense out there performing today was a award of his own. I mean, he definitely deserves to be baller of the week. So I had to have 2. He had to be one. And then I had to give one to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs breaking out with that 78-yard touchdown run, man. This look absolutely electric. Reminds me of one that we had back in the day. I'm not sure you remember.
Javid Best
when he was playing against the Bears and he broke out for I think 68 yards.
Yep.
Just right down the middle. Nobody touched him. Nobody could catch him. Just breakaway speed, just gone touchdown. That's what that touchdown reminded me of, man. This brought back flashbacks, got me excited. Like I said, best running back in the league. Argue with your mama. I don't care what you say. He's other baller of the week, Jahmyr Gibbs.
All right, now pick one.
Huh?
Now pick one.
What do you mean pick one? They just did a 1A, 1B. Baller of the week, both of them.
Who's 1A?
1A, 1A.
Calvin Shepard it is. All right, Calvin. All right. Oopsie doopsie of the week. You know, I mentioned his name just a minute ago. John Hussey. That was terrible. You know, then everyone confused, man, from the broadcast. I can't even imagine being in the stadium. I'd be more confused. So I was in for it. At least I had the broadcast kind of help me, walking me through the process of what's going on. Now, being in the stadium, I'd be confused as hell. That would
have been an emotional roller coaster.
I would have no idea what was going on. It was just like Arrowhead. You know, we thought we got a touchdown. We're celebrating our asses off when Monty threw to Goff, and Goff stiffs arms a player on the Chiefs, and we're celebrating our ass off just for a minute 30 after to say, hey, there's actually an illegal shift. Never seen a flag that late. I'm still not over it. You know, it is what it is. Whatever. So, you know, and John Hussey doing his antics today, even though we won, I'm giving to John Hussey. John Hussey is your of the week for his antics today.
Hey, shoot, well deserved.
I know. I mean, if Jonathan Vilma and Kenny Elber were on the call, I'd probably give it to them. But, you know, they got a pass this week. They didn't call our game, thankfully.
Thank God.
Hopefully no more for the rest of the year. I can't promise that, but hopefully no more.
I mean, it probably wouldn't be too bad because Brian Branch wasn't playing, so he probably wouldn't call him Deion Branch.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I was wrong here, but I thought Troy Aikman or whoever it was, Joe Buck, when they kept saying Arthur Millette, I thought they were trying to say Eric Hallett. I kept thinking it was him this whole time. When Arthur Millette got the pick, I thought it was Eric Hallett. I'm like, who the hell is Arthur Millette? I'm like, are they trying to say Eric Hallett? I looked it up and I'm like, oh no, they're right. He's a Lion. This guy's a Lion. And play. So I felt like, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like Vilma a little bit today. I'm like, man, if I was in that booth, I would be just like Vilma right now. I would be saying Eric Hallett instead of Arthur Millette when he made that pick. But yeah, no, there was no Brian Branch out there. So yeah, you would have to, but he would be in hell right now with all these backups they had today.
Oh yeah, whoo.
He would hell.
Oh, he would, yeah. Whoo, that would have been bad.
He wouldn't know any of these dudes. All right. I think that's going to be a wrap. Hope you guys all enjoyed. We got the bye week coming up. We were inactive last week. Like I mentioned, we were at Arrowhead, so couldn't record there. But then we got, I believe, Vikings have to bye. So big division game coming out the bye, Ford Field. So we'll be doing a show for that before the game. And then we'll be live on Sunday, an hour before the game. And then immediately after the game, just like this. So come join us on here, X, YouTube, wherever you guys are watching right now. And we'll be, live on Sunday as well. So that's all I got for you guys now. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Good Lions victory. 5-2. It's the bye, man. Let's go. I'm out, guys. Peace.
It's your boy Malcolm, man. Yeah, man. 5-2, man. I'm excited, man. Another Dubsky. Man, I'm out, man. Peace.